Hello, welcome back to Madrona's Pulse Teachings. I hope that you are doing well. I am going to chat with you about this July 10th full moon. This is happening in Capricorn. How are you doing? It has been a lot this July. There's a lot of big rhythm shifts. There's a lot of breaking down and sudden changes and things dissolving, and we are just in the season of dissolving. And we're going to talk about that because Saturn is stationing retrograde 2 days after this full moon, and it is a Capricorn full moon, so that is very significant. But I hope that you are doing as well as you can be doing, and let's talk about these cosmic energies that we are co-creating with as we merge and with these big shifts and changes and create these new realities that are birthing as the old is dissolving. And so we are talking about a Capricorn full moon. So again, this is on July 10th. It is happening around 4:36 p.m. That's Eastern time. You want to adjust for wherever you are on the globe. And we've got our sun in Cancer. We've got our moon in Capricorn. This full moon is significant as well for two cosmic conversations that are happening. The full moon, the sun and the moon are talking to the nodes. They are trining and sextiling our north node in Pisces and our south node in Virgo. And as I mentioned, 2 days, it depends where you are in the globe. It could be the 12th, could be the 13th. 2 days after this full moon, Saturn, who is the ruler of Capricorn, stations retrograde in Aries. Neptune stationed retrograde on the 4th. We've had Gemini energy surge as Uranus entered on the 7th, and Venus a few days before that, also on the 4th. There's a lot of changes going on. And yet this full moon, especially because the full moon, the Capricorn moon, is in a trine to our south node, this is a beautiful opportunity to let go of the attachments to goals and projects and really also just ideas of yourself that you don't really want to do, that aren't aligned to you, that there's a part of the self that thinks it needs to accomplish these things. And this is a full moon to kind of release that, especially because we are coming into a season of realignment. And that is big with our Neptune and our Saturn in Aries. You know, Capricorn is this beautiful, rich yin earth energy, and it has unfortunately been really solidified into this stereotype of an astrology idea, and that solidification has come through the way that patriarchy is so present in the interpretations of many of astrology's archetypes. Because oftentimes when we kind of hear descriptions of Capricorn, it's just kind of get it done, check those boxes off, climb that social ladder, be at the top. You know, it's entirely constructed within that framework of what is social conditioning and the way, and then in our own embodiments, how oftentimes with Capricorn, kind of shadowy, fear-driven Capricorn stuff, it's coming from the intersection of family lessons and those social lessons. And Capricorn, yin earth, yes, Capricorn can work. Capricorn can climb those mountains like that goat. But it's a real issue when Capricorn is climbing mountains that it doesn't actually in its soul drive want to be climbing. And that is when Capricorn experiences burnout. Capricorn can take so much responsibility. It can go the long haul, but it's all about the drive and the intention. Capricorn sinks us into deep elder earth wisdom. It takes us into sacred cycles that are natural cycles. It is very much about the earthly plane. Capricorn and Saturn connect us to literally the boundary between what is known and unknown in the psyche, in the experience of the self. And the fact that Saturn stations retrograde just 2 days after this full moon suggests that the boundaries of what are known and unknown in your sense of self and how your sense of self moves through your life, they're changing. And so with that trine to the south node, if there's anything that we've kind of aligned our sense of self to, and this could go deep, this could be a sense of self that has been all tied up in our professional world, in the way that we present, in how we hold ourselves, in the responsibilities that we put onto ourselves, especially in this moment, the things that are attached to any idea of performing perfection, any idea there where we've created really unrealistic goals to put on ourselves, because that's what Virgo can do, and then it can really try and go fulfill them, but it's a vicious loop because it's perfectionism and it's not actually possible, and that's what the South Node is helping us clear out. And so this could be old karmic-y learned stuff, but it's a trine, so it wants to flow out. And I will note that our last full moon, our Sagittarius fiery full moon, was square the nodes. So, that Sagittarius full moon that we had square the nodes, that was really helping us to come into contact with ways that we want to move forward. And the square brings up dynamic energy. There is some grit there. There's also a lot of juice. As we move into this full moon with the trine and the sextile, it is just supporting us to say, okay, I'm letting that idea of myself go. I'm letting that project go. I'm letting my attachment to showing up a certain way go. So that sextile to Pisces is trining the Cancer sun, so that I can take care of myself with more heart presence, so that I can connect to the divine flow. This is a wonderful full moon to look for the synchronicities. Look for the synchronicities also for the projects that you do want to sign up for in your own kind of self sign up for the long haul, that you do want to bring into your kind of projected forward movement, knowing very well that forward movement, especially in this moment of history and time, is nonlinear, and it's going to sidestep, it's going to dissolve, it's going to go all sorts of places, because Saturn and now retrograde and now Neptune are entering their retrograde, right? So there's this rich illumination. That's what the full moon brings us into, and it's an illumination of, ideally how we can connect even more strongly with our elder wisdom that we embody. Doesn't matter if you are 25 or 75, that elder wisdom is in Capricorn, and it wants to be embodied wherever you are in your journey at this moment. And the Capricorn energy, the yin earth energy, the wisdom that it has, the way that Saturn anchors us into that wisdom, it comes from respecting limits. It comes from honoring limits. It comes from recognizing that limits, especially those that are part of Earth's cycles and natural timelines, are here for a reason, and we're supposed to work in concert with them, not reject them, not try and blast through them, not say limitless growth is the model of the economy and anyone's business model and you should just want more and more and more and more. Saturn, that is not part of Saturn. And Saturn is how we create form and meaning in this experience, in this life. And now we are coming in to a time when that form and meaning is shifting, when ideally it is shifting so that a new spiritual reality can be embodied in this plane, and that humans can do things that we have not done before. And this is both the ancient wisdom being reclaimed, what I refer to as kind of the sacred witch being reclaimed in a lot of my work, especially divine feminine healing. And as that is happening on an individual and collective level, there is a new paradigm emerging. And this is big, and it is about power over ideologies collapsing, and in the personal self-inquiry astrology, because remember, Saturn is in Aries. This is about how we, all of us, because we're just part of this social fabric, have internalized these ideas and these ways of making meaning that are collapsing, that we've outgrown individually, that we've outgrown collectively. And while that collapsing comes with quite a bit of destruction, you can also feel, especially in the yin moments, and then also in those accelerated Uranian, Gemini, hummingbird moments, you can glimpse, the new experiences of being that are emerging. And this is a process. It is going on for a while. And yet this full moon, especially because it's talking to the nodes, because it comes just after Uranus has entered Gemini, just after Neptune has stationed retrograde, just before Saturn stations retrograde. It's a moment to sink in and to feel how your own path, what do you want for your own path, so that you can feel aligned to the new realities that are emerging. Even though we can't see them, we can feel into it. And here, on the personal level, this is about your own soul journey. This is about what you're here for. Capricorn takes us again into that elder wisdom. It's also soul lineage wisdom. You can feel it in your bones because that's part of how Capricorn and Saturn speak with us. And so it is, it's a full moon to tap into earth wisdom, to walk with barefoot on the grass, and to just feel into the present moment and be honest with yourself about what you are ready to let go of, especially in terms of attachments that you've kind of had to this idea of yourself who has to perform this way, who has to be productive in this way. That might have been a way that is exhausting, that is depleting, that isn't respecting the yin earth energy of Capricorn. And by releasing that, we get to sink into the beautiful soul journey alignments that are birthing, that are coming from the layering that's underneath it all. One other layer that I would like to mention in this full moon is that Jupiter is in a trine to Vesta. So also just let's always remember that Jupiter is in Cancer. We are moving for a year with Jupiter in Cancer, which means we are pulling back and finding the abundance and faith and joyfulness that comes from heart-centered paths and heart-centered wisdom. And right now, and for the next several weeks, that Jupiter is in a trine with Vesta in Scorpio. She is newly out of her retrograde. She is reintegrating what it means to be a witchy sacred healer. Vesta and Scorpio can bring healing to wounds that we literally do not have language to express. They are deep. They have to do with intimacy. They have to do with wounding to our intimacy with life, to our intimacy with ourselves, to our intimacy in relationships. And there's this subtle layer of healing in the scorpionic waters of the alchemical process of healing that Vesta can tap us into, because she is our sacred connection to the goddess. She is the sacred hearth within, and she has been retrograde, and now she is direct. And in Scorpio, she is learning that she can heal herself by trusting her witchy intuition, by trusting the power that lies within. And you know what? That power is not separate from the wound, and that's the secret of Scorpio. That's the secret of Scorpio healing. It is by embracing and entering the wound with love, with a deep love, that we transmute and form something new. And here, that is literally forming something new in the depths of ourself, that's trining that Jupiter, that wants to create an abundance of heart wisdom, care, and nurture, both for ourselves and for others. So there is a lot of this water trine is quite lovely and healing, especially during these times. Go float in a pool, float in a lake, float in the ocean, float in your bathtub. Just let the water carry you and hold you, especially if you are feeling exhausted, especially if some of those wounds are crying for a little of attention. Bringing in that water trine is a beautiful way to connect with your own healing connection to the goddess, because that's what Vesta is, and she is in our scorpionic womb right now within ourselves and our intimacies with Psyche and beneath the veil and the goddess. So that is energy to lean into as we come into this Capricorn full moon. Capricorn and Saturn are they're the wisdom keepers in these different ways that their archetypes speak with us. And so really just, embodying the wisdom keeper. What does that look like to you? What does that feel like to you? This isn't a harmonic relationship with the nodes. So let it bring you joy. Let it bring you lightness. Let imagining the wisdom keeper in your life bring you lightness. And in that lightness, you release the attachments to the ideas of success and work And in whatever that is, that's been actually weighing you down because it's not what you need to carry forward. There's wisdom in learning what burden to put down, and this full moon can really illuminate that. Okay, with that, I'm going to leave you. Next time I see you, I will probably be in my little Toronto nook because I have to take a trip to Toronto. And maybe I will even be with Romeo. We'll see if he comes to visit me. If you're new to my channel, Romeo is yet another cat in my life, a neighborhood cat in Toronto that comes and visits me, and hopefully we'll get to check in with him. But I am sending lots of love to you, and be well. Full moon blessings.